I don't claim to be an expert in Excel. What I am is a fellow traveller who has suffered through making most of the mistakes that it's possible to make in Excel. The online lessons, which I went through, taking about an hour and 10 minutes, are an excellent introduction to Excel, and I learned plenty from those online lessons. By their very nature, though, the online lessons don't cover some of the real-world things that I certainly wish I hadn't had to learn the hard way, by being slow to learn keyboard shortcuts, for example, about how and when to save, how to undo last action, repeat last action, and use the paintbrush, which for my money is one of the single most useful tools ever invented. To begin with, I'm hoping that everyone present has some familiarity with Excel and/or has accessed the online lessons. I'm going to make sure that we are all singing off the same page by very quickly reiterating some of the basics: the names of parts of an Excel document and an overview of the control panel, which is described in the online lessons as the ribbon. The very first control panel we should look at, though, is the preferences. It's really worthwhile spending a few minutes clicking on each of the icons and reading what they offer. If in doubt, leave it on the default setting. Preferences are found by clicking up on the top left-hand side of your screen on the name of the program, which in this case is Excel. This is one of the preferences. Now, I know it says autocorrect, but hear this: Excel does not autocorrect like Word. So here's your first tip. Excel really isn't set up for text so much as it is set up for numbers, or numbers and a bit of text. Later you might want to search your document for some text that you know you typed, and the document stubbornly refuses to find it, simply because you mistyped it, and Excel does not autocorrect. In fact, autocorrect in Excel refers to fixing mathematical formulas. So if it's important that your text is correct in your Excel document, or there is a lot of it, I strongly urge you to type and check and fix it first in Word or something similar. Copying and pasting text from Word into Excel is quite straightforward. On to the basic terms. First, the place in which you type is called a cell. As you type in each cell, what you type also appears up in the white box next to FX, and you can also click up there and keep typing. Currently, I've clicked in the first cell in the first row, so that's cell A1. Excel offers two ways to see and do almost everything, so that I know it's A1 in two ways. The cell itself is highlighted in blue, and the A and the 1 are highlighted in darker grey. Also, A1 appears in the destination pane, which I have arrowed. Rows, which are cells arranged sideways across the page, are numbered from 1 on down to as many as any sane person needs. When you hover your mouse in the right spot, just to the left of the number of the row, an arrow will appear, which if you click it will select the whole row. And if you look at the cells going up and down the page, they're in columns, labelled from A up to, again, well, a ridiculous number. A basic Excel document has more rows and columns than anyone is ever likely to need. Again, if you hover your mouse in the right spot, just at the top of the name of the column, A or B, etc., an arrow will appear, which, if clicked, will select the whole column. Excel, as I've said, commonly offers at least two ways to do everything, recognising that different people work in different ways. For example, all the commands to do something are offered under File or Edit, and so on. That's up on the very, very top row. But to, say, open a new document, you could click on File and then click on New, or you can use the icon on the left and just click on that. Well, that's one click instead of two. Or, and here's your second tip, use your keyboard shortcut. On a PC, it's Ctrl+n. Save your mouse hand wherever possible. Right-clicking the mouse almost always opens up options to do the next thing as well. How you do that on a touch screen, I don't know. So, a quick look through these icons. They are up there in a prominent position, because the designers of Excel have learned what people most commonly need and use, and they've put them right there where they're easy to see and use. You can open a brand new default set document or open a document already preset with a certain look, and you can create your own look and parameters and save it in the template folder, which I'll come to shortly. So, to open something that you've already created, the shortcut is Control-O. To save the document you're working in right now, the shortcut, you've probably already guessed, Control-S. And to print, yes, Control-P. Now this is seriously one of the best shortcuts ever. You realise that you've just done something stupid. Immediately, without touching another thing, hit this icon, or go to Edit, Undo, or shortcut Control-Z. And then when you know you've saved the day, save your work. Here's another tip. In Preferences, you can dictate how often Excel will automatically save your work. The default is every 10 minutes, but you can set it to whatever you want. So if you've totally bollocksed your document and you're not even sure what you did wrong or how to fix it, just close the document immediately, and when prompted, don't save it. And then you can at least get the last saved version back and carry on from there. By the way, if you save an Excel document in Dropbox, it also keeps every previous saved version, so you can rescue documents that way too. But no one likes to lose their work, so undo is very handy. The opposite, redo, is also extremely useful. You've just done something rather clever, but you don't know how, and you want to do it to more cells. Select the next cell then and just go redo, or Control-Y. Y for yes, and Z for oh no, it's the end of the world, is how I remember them. Now this is a fabulously handy icon. You select a row of numbers or a column, and then in the cell next door on a row, or directly underneath a column, you click this icon and it will automatically add up, whether you are dealing with a number to 3 decimal points or a monetary value. Sometimes, as I'll shortly demonstrate, you need to look at data in a few different ways. If you want to see from biggest to smallest or vice versa, this is how you do it. You can hide things that you don't want to see, but here's a tip. Unless something's really annoying you by its very existence or your spreadsheet is becoming unwieldy in size, don't hide it. Finding it again can get very frustrating. Generally, just clicking again on the same icon will cancel whatever you just did, so not to worry. This is the Toolbox. Confusingly, when you open it, it's called the Formula Builder. The help function can be very useful too. So, those are the most commonly used functions in Excel.